in some small way. I would venture to say it will be good 25% to 30%, if not more, that we don't know about it, because the internet is now on everyone's telephone. And when a person walks around with a little telephone, they have the whole world right in their hands, in their pocket. Internet takes away time, quality time from husband and wife. People need to spend time together. We have increasingly busy schedules. But how do we enjoy each other, get to know each other? There is a problem when we don't communicate. There's a problem when somebody does not know what is their wife's day, what was their husband's day all about, how do they feel, what do they think about. It's an increasingly busy society, but we should have the time to sit down together and enjoy each other. And even if the couple is not on such a great level right now where they can really sit down and have a geschmack shmuis together and really have a good conversation, they should try it anyhow. Von Essen kommt Appetit. Sit down and talk a little bit. Shaarei, one man to his friend. The Sefer Kol Mitzalos Chasonim says that the number one reason why there is fighting, although the Gemara in Bava Metzia says al iskei tfuah, it happens because of iskei tfuah, monetary, economic conditions within the family. But I once saw from one of the Meforshim, al iskei tfuah, it doesn't say lack of money, al iskei tfuah. When there is a lack of money, how is it handled? Is that something that's argued about? Is that something that we allow it to cloud all the other good parts of the marriage? Is that something where I say, well, I have a lot of bitachon, but how am I going to pay the rent? How am I going to pay the tuition? Al iskei tfuah. How is it that a person approaches this with what type of Torah mind, with what type of optimism and idealism, what's going to be in the future? It's a phenomenal thing, al iskei tfuah. So there it says, it's an interesting, very interesting idea, that a lot of times that the reason why people do not get along is because they don't think that they are reim ha'ahuvim. They're best friends. If you're my best friend, so that's the way I look at you. I'm mochel. I understand you. I can't wait to see you again. I want to talk with you. I want to have shaykhus with you. If I don't think that you're my best friend, then I watch out for you. Then I'm a little bit wary of you. Then I think you do certain things in order just to make me upset. And I also start to wonder about how much you're in it for me and what I'm getting out of this entire relationship. Sometimes a person will come into me. In fact, I'm going to go back 2 weeks. A couple traveled in from Chicago, young couple. And the husband said, I tell you the truth, I don't know what I'm getting out of this relationship anymore. I said, well, can I ask you just an open question between friends? Yes. What do you want to get out of their relationship? You know, Rabbi, I haven't thought about that. What do we want? What do we want? It's good enough a person got married. My Rabbi, Rabbi Victor Miller, said, give praise to Hashem Yisparach that we got married. Give praise to Hashem Yisparach that we have somebody to go home to. Even you don't like her, even you don't like him. But you have somebody to walk home to. Every wife gives us chosan al kala. A person has to say it. It's not the pshat, kim says chosan al kala. Yeah, well, when we got married, she was good. Like, Shem Brothers was good. After that, it started going a little bit downhill. No. Individual has to say, Kim Sos Hasan al Kala, how do I keep up the fervor? How do I keep up the enthusiasm? How do I look at it every day that this is unreal, that I got married? Look at some of the people today. I was in the Upper West Side 3 weeks ago. I gave a shiur. I was Upper West Side. Shall I tell you that somebody who was 41 years old came over to me and said, Rebbe, let me ask you a question. Should I continue to be mispalel, a very frum person? Should I continue to pray that I should meet by Bashert? Or should I move it to maybe I should move it to a different area of Tefilah? Tell me, what should I do? Does she not try all the time? Yes. And there are equal, people don't realize this, the number of men that are around older men is terrible. When a person thinks they had the schiyah to step under the chuppah, that in itself is something great. What we make out of it has a lot to do with the amount of yigiyah that we put into it. It's an old English saying that a relationship is like a bank account. You can only take out of it what you put into it. If we are Rei Mahuvim, if I feel that this person is my best friend, what am I not willing to do for them? What wouldn't I do for them? How do I think about them? Where do I go when I'm going in the streets and I'm going to other cities? What am I thinking about? I'm thinking about my wife. I'm thinking about my husband. That's Rei Mahuvim. But it depends how we treat that individual and where things sort of start to fall apart. Every day, little bit less, little bit less. In our society, we're throwaway. Everything can be discarded. The cell phone you can discard. Beautiful camera, you can discard it after you finish. The video you can buy, you discard it. Everything's discarded. The newer idea. I got last year's iPhone, but this year's iPhone is much better. It has better apps, better things. You can connect up all the things that a person wants to do. You get a card now, a credit card. It's amazing. You can do everything with it. It can have your license on it. It's unbelievable. You can have it no matter what you want it, what functions you want it to perform in life. It does it for you. It just came out. So if I have last year's regular license, what is that? The only thing I can do is if a policeman, chas v'sholem, pulls me over, so I can show him the license. But how many new things came out? I'm afraid that the same thing happens in terms of a husband and wife. It becomes like an old thing. Yes, I married her. When I was that age, so she was good. He was good. But now, like, I've grown and I blossomed and I became, a Goldwasser-P2-Shalom. Now it's not the same thing anymore. No way. The Stipler Gaon said the following, Kilas Yankov. He said that the person's wife or husband that they have was given to them min hashamayim that will best be able to bring out the kochos that they have inside. The one who they married, not the other one, I had somebody, I have to say, the person was 65 years old. He sat down, he had a Shalom Bayis problem. So he told me, I married my wife, but I was going out with someone else right beforehand. So I didn't know how. I think maybe he just got married a few years ago, maybe it's a second marriage or something. So I said, just innocently, well, when were you going out with her? Well, I'm married for 44 years. What's the person thinking? An individual has to have a direct focus that the here and now, the reality of the person that they are married to, that they can make it good, that they can make a simchat of their life, but they have to know how to treat each other. And in fact, it's interesting because in the Pirkei de Rabbi Eliezer it says the way that we treat the other person is the way that we're going to be treated back. And we can never tell who was the first one that started on the decline. There are shilas today that are just unbelievable. Somebody came in and I don't know where it happened, but sometimes things get wild. I'm just talking about extreme cases, not nogea to anybody in this base medrash. Someone reported that when they get out of hand and things start to fly, that they say a word that is not nice to their wife. A word that is not nice, unfortunately, is a word that is a curse word. Why do we have curse words today? Because it's accepted. It's accepted in the media. It's accepted in the newspaper. Oh yes, they'll leave one little letter out and put an asterisk there, and every goylem in town knows exactly what they're reading of killing the kids. But no, it's okay. So why is it that people trade around these lashonos? The reason they trade around these lashonos is that we're exposed to it. So someone took their husband to Beis Din that he said a word that wasn't proper. Took him to Beis Din. Can you imagine? And in Beis Din, Rav Silverstein paskin that the husband, of course, needed to have a little bit of correction and musar and tikkun, and also, as Pila Shulchan Aruch, owed a fine, a kanas, for what he had said. Imagine if we would govern our lives knowing that every word that comes out of our mouth is, let's say, something that could be fined. Something that we are answerable for. We are. And those Tavarim is that way. The way that we make somebody comfortable, the way that we talk to them, the way that we question them, the way that we talk to them about something they may not have done that we find chen in. All of these things, a person has to be very careful because our words are going to be measured in the basin Shalmaila. On those Tavarim, that I aggrieve someone with my words, that I cause them tsar. Did I say something to them that they may have felt bad? Maybe not about them, but about their